Alright, I'm thinking of something here. So I'm going to take a walk out here and I'll show you what I'm thinking of. It's some outdoor antenna stuff. My back is, well, it's not really, that's my upper back, my right arm side of my rear shoulder blade, like in that area. So I really don't know if I want to climb that tower today because I haven't got a safety belt with me today. And what happens is when it catches, I kind of lose my strength in that arm for a brief second. But what I want to do is, I have a pulley in my hand, and if you can you see this? Maybe you can't. Let me get over here. Can you see that wire? I don't know if you see it or not. There's a wire there. Okay, that wire ends right down here where this knot is, and there's an insulator there. Okay, so that's where it ends. Now this here is rope or line, and it's attached to a tree way back yonder. As you can see it go back there to that tree that's kind of hiding in between there. See it? It looks kind of like a dead tree. It's the one that's sticking up on top behind that other one there. And there's a pulley up there with window weights. Hey, train! I have a train, but I would never be able to get to the fence in time. So anyway, there's a pulley up there. There's a half-inch line wrapped around the tree with a piece of rubber hose so that the line doesn't wear on the tree. Oh, this damn phone. I can sit here all day and can turn on the camera and the phone rings. Anyway, there's window weights that keeps the tension on that wire. Now the reason why it's there is so that if the tree moves, it doesn't snap the wire. I do notice I'm hung up right there, so I'm going to have to clear that a little bit. It's not that it's stopping it from doing anything, just that it may be holding it down a little bit. But where I'm going with this is, now again, that tower is straight. The light pole is crooked. I keep a level down here just so I can check it. Now what I'm thinking of doing is grabbing onto this wire that now you can't see it, but let me move over here again. I'm hoping you can see it right there. Alright, there's another one over there, but that's one there. What I like to do is, now see, I have a pulley on that pole. Can you see that? Just below the light there's a pulley and the rope comes down here. I have a small pulley right there, and the paracord comes down to there. I'd like to get a pulley up to the third section, about 30 feet up, on this leg, on this side, this leg over here, on this leg, and the top of the third section would have put me about 30 feet. Then I can lasso the wire that's over here. I have enough rope on that tree down there. I can pull this line over to here and yet keep it away from the other one, and then take the line and put it this way between these two trees. You follow? So that's what I'd like to get done. The problem is getting up to that third section, because again, I haven't got a safety belt on me today and my back is driving me nuts. Those are those window weights that I use for ballast. This one here is actually attached to that wire, so when the wind, I can raise and lower the wire just by lifting and lowering the weights. So those two weights are basically holding that up. So if the tower does sway a little bit in the wind, it's not going to cause any damage or snap the wire. But meanwhile, that's what I like to do. Now, getting it onto that pulley that I already have wouldn't be an issue, but it would be going around the tower. Well, maybe, yeah, it would be, because it's going to be coming from that direction before it goes to that direction. If I put it up on that pulley, I might be able to get away with it on that pulley and not have to climb. Should I try that one first? Let me see. Let me put this stuff on the ground so I don't lose it and tangle everything up. Meanwhile, I don't want to tangle that one up. There's that with another pulley. If I want to go up there, I put the hose on it. This way the hose would be around this so that the rope or the paracord or line wouldn't be rubbing against this and getting cut. So basically now, I have enough line here. If I were to take this line, I can try this without going crazy, because it's already here. So if I take this line off, I have plenty of it here, 1/2 of it, so it's already up there on the pulley. So all we gotta do is bring it down here, untie the end. The reason why I tied the end is because I didn't want it to accidentally pull up and out and through the pulley. So with the knot on it, it's not going to tie. I mean, it's not going to run through the pulley. So I can probably try that. It's not quite as high as I want it to go, but it's a lot higher than what it is. But that tower may get in the way because, see, this wire does have a coating on it. But if it rubs against this tower, which is a strong possibility it will, depending on how high I pull it up, it's going to wear the coating off the wire, and then it's going to short out against the tower. And that I don't want. So I got to, let me untie this wire, I'll be right back. Alright, now this is a trial run. I'm going to see if it works. If it'll work, then I'm going to bring it back, and then I'm going to have to put an insulator here, because I don't want the rope to take a chance of shorting out against the wire, wearing the coating off it, and then the rope getting wet and becoming part of, because that could happen. So I'll come off of this with a piece of like 2 inches of paracord. I'll put an insulator on it, or an isolator, and I'll tie the rope to the other side of that. So if the rope or paracord happens to wear the coating off the wire itself, I only got to worry about a couple inches, and that's not going to cause any problems because it'll isolate the rest of this rope. So what I want to do now is basically pull this pulley, and without disturbing you guys, making you seasick, I don't know if you're going to see what I'm doing here or not, but the object here is to pull this line up towards that pulley. See what I'm doing? Now, that seems to be working pretty good. However, I'm probably going to have to disconnect that one now and bring it around the other side. So you know what? This may work. I may not have to go up the tower. Yeah, you know what? I think this is going to work. So, alright, let me disconnect that, get it on the other side and of the tree, so it'll be going between these two trees, because that's where I need it to be. And I think I may have it here. I'll be right back. Alright, so I retied it, bringing it through the center of the trees. Now it's just tied up on that branch for a minute, but that's not going to bother me as soon as I start pulling this over. So let's start pulling this up here now. There we go. And it's not going to interfere. Good. So I can tie it off right about there. And if I got to drop the pole to put the light on, a new bulb in it or something, which I do down here with the swivel, I still have plenty of line here to let it loose for a minute so I can do it. Actually, I kind of like that idea. We're far enough away from everything. That end may be a little close, but I got plenty of room here, so I should be okay. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to permanently change it yet. I want to make a few adjustments and see how it works with the receiver on the radio before I go any further. So I'm just going to wrap this around this, come around here, give it another wrap around here, just like I'm tying up a boat. Yeah, all right, what do you think? I'm holding a 70-footer here. Yeah, I kind of miss the boat. I really do. I don't miss the expenses, the maintenance. I don't miss all the crap that went with it. But I do miss being on the water and going places. So damn relaxing. You get on the boat, you get out of the harbor, you set your course, pay attention, but put on the cruise control. Watch the GPS, because the cruise control is not going to get you out of the way of a lobster pot. So you still have to maintain visual. But you can do it by, sitting back, having coffee, talking, having a good time, and yet, staying at the helm. And then if I had to take a break, the wife would sit at the helm. The wife knew how to use the boat, so I didn't have a problem with that. She couldn't dock it, but she didn't have a problem with using it. All right, now, as you can see, I just have one little glitch, which I'm not going to worry about. It's clearing all these trees for now until they decide to grow. But right here, you can see that rope is kind of hung up right there on this branch. Right there. That's holding it down probably 2 to 3 feet. What I'm thinking though is by the time the leaves get evicted and the wind comes along and everything blows around, those should be okay. If not, I'll just throw a line up there and just pull them underneath that line and be all right. So here's our bamboo. It's growing like crazy. So anyway, that's what I got to do now that I took you for a tour of the yard again. Wife gets those free at work, so we put one here, and so when she's walking the boys, she sits out here for a few minutes with them. And there's another one up near the back of the shack. So, alright, so anyway, I'm going to go inside and test this, see how it works. I'm going to bring all this stuff back in with me because I don't think I'm going to need it. And I may have to run the other wire. See, I have another wire running off of that. If you want, we'll just call it ground wire for now. And see, up here is where I'm concerned. Because up here, it's a little close. And they may interfere with one another being that close together. What are they? Maybe 3. Let me see, I can tell you exactly. 1, 2, 3. They're 4 feet apart. So, up here. And then the antenna, the top one, ends right there where that little insulator or isolator, whatever you want to call it, is. That's just a choke. The rest of that's paracord. And on this one, all that is antenna, all the way down to where that tree is, where I showed you before. So that's what they call a long wire. And that goes 10 through 80. It's 132 feet long. And now I also have this other wire up here. I don't know if you can see it. And that's the one that I'm saying is the ground wire. And that goes down and over there. Well, I may run that one that way. So if you look at the top of the house, right there at that peak, I used to have a dish out there. And I can just tie an isolator or insulator to it and run this wire to that. And it won't interfere with this one because it's not going in the same direction. And again, it'll still be about 4 feet away from it. So I just don't know if 4 feet is going to be enough. And then naturally I still have the vertical up there and these other ones. Like I said though, the one I made works best.